The mass shooting that happened at the Grand Blanc Township church, the Mormon church, it's absolutely horrible, man. This asshole, he set it on fire. The whole church burned down. And according to the Detroit News, they're saying that the total number of victims, fatalities, is now up to 5, which is unbelievable. Absolutely horrible. I heard that 10, if not more, last I heard that there were 10 victims who were shot after this fucking scumbag drives into a church with his vehicle. Here he is. Supposedly that's him. Drives into the church, in through the front doors with his vehicle, and he takes his rifle and he shoots a bunch of people, and then he sets the church on fire. Then he gets into an altercation or a gunfire. Let's call it for what it is. He gets into a shootout with him and the cops end up killing him. Rightfully so. Scum of the earth, man. He doesn't deserve to survive. Absolutely unbelievable. And what's it all going to be for? Is he going to be another left-winger? Look, that's what people on the left are saying right now. They're saying that this guy, he's a Trump supporter. He's a conservative. Look, he's got camouflage on. He's heavy-set. He's got a beard. He has a child, so he's probably married. Obviously lives out in the country. There's no way this guy could be a left-winger. There's absolutely no way. So you got people on the left that are saying, what are conservatives going to say when, not if, but when the news comes out and says that politically he was on the right, or a Trump supporter, conservative. And conservatives are saying, well, we would absolutely denounce his actions. We would call him a vile piece of shit fucking scumbag who deserves to burn in hell for all eternity for what he did. We're not going to martyr this motherfucker. That's not going to happen. But of course, on the left, if it's a leftist who does it, they'll just outright deny that he was on the left in the first place. But I don't know, man. Just depending on exactly what it was that they did, the left will either pretend that didn't happen or they would paint him as a hero in some way or another. So, yeah, I mean, a lot of news today. This happened today, Sunday, September 18th, 2025. Or 18th, September 28th. I'm sorry, I got my days wrong. Just a little bit. I knew it was the 28th. It was a long day, man. I've had microphone problems all day. Been working on it for like 12 straight hours. Circled all the way back to where I was at the very beginning. Made absolutely no progress. Completely wasted the entire day. I wanted to do a video on this earlier, like hours ago, and I just didn't have a chance to up until now. So first, let me see. I'll just first go with this. This is the most recent that I got from Detroit News. 4 victims, suspect dead in shooting, fire at Morman Church in Grand Blanc Township. That's why I'm wondering if this, look, it says total amount of fatalities are up to 5. However, right here in the title of the article, it says 4. This is the only place that I've seen the number 5. Everywhere else, they're saying 4, including the press conference that I'm assuming the police chief gave. Yeah, this individual. He says that the number was up to 4. Yeah, see, authorities now confirm 4 victims are dead along with the shooter. So perhaps that's what Detroit Press is talking about. Number of fatalities to 5. Of course, it wouldn't surprise me that they would word it that way, just to make it sound like it's more of it bleeds, so it leads kind of way that they're looking at it. So there's 5 victims. Or no, there's 4 victims. You see how they try to confuse people with this shit? There's 4 victims that this assailant murdered. But the Detroit News, they're lobbying the murderer in with the victims to make the count at 5. Because the number 5 is more dramatic than the number 4. See how they play this shit? Unfucking believable. No wonder there's always, conflicting information all the time. Well, Detroit Free Press, look, we're not giving in conflicting information. There 5 people died in this incident. So 5 means 5. It doesn't mean 4. It means 5. Look, you had plenty of space to add a few extra words saying 4 victims, 1 with the shooter being dead. They could have framed it in a way better way than this, because they make it sound like that 5 people were killed by the gunman. I mean, they had me fooled, at least. But yeah, I get it down here. 4 victims plus suspect dead in shooting. I don't know. Maybe I'm the dumbass. Maybe I'm the retard. That's probably the case. It's probably me. Yeah, it's my retardation. Apparently I can't read today. All right. So I'm going to read this real quick since this just came out recently. So, Grand Blanc Township, 10 people were shot, 2 fatally, late Sunday morning at a Mormon church in Grand Blanc Township after a Genesee County man allegedly rammed his truck through the church's entrance and opened fire. And look, they're going to paywall me. Of course they are. 2 other bodies were later discovered in the remains of a fire that authorities accused the suspected gunman, Thomas Jacob Sanford, a 40-year-old man from Burton, of setting at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, 4285 McCandlish Road. Let's see. Sanford is accused of going on a shooting spree before being killed at the church, located about 50 miles north of Detroit, after authorities responded to the scene. All right, so I'm going to go back. That'll be linked if you just so happen to be subscribed to the Detroit News. I'd be surprised if you are, but if you are, you can click on it and you can read it. If not, then you'll be paywalled just like me. CNN breaking news: FBI calls Michigan church attack an act of targeted violence as death toll rises to at least 4. You see, even CNN is wording it in a more of a proper way than fucking Detroit News. I would have expected even less out of CNN. I would have expected CNN to just straight up say, no, like 17 people are dead. Yeah, like 17, like everybody who was shot, like we assume they're all dead because we don't have confirmation. Anonymous sources at the hospital tell us that all 10 of them did not survive. That's what I would have expected from CNN. But no, I'll actually hand it to CNN on this one. At least 4 dead, because that is the official reporting from authorities. 4 people, 4 innocent victims lost their lives today at the hands of Thomas Jacob Sanford, a 40-year-old from nearby city of Burton. Let's see. Now, this is, okay, so CNN might be throwing me a curveball here. This might be a curveball situation. This is where CNN's going to start, stumbling into the weeds. Up to 7 people are unaccounted for as the search concludes for the night, source says. So they're calling off the search for the night, according to CNN. So you got to take this with like an Earth-sized grain of salt. But if what they're saying is correct, they're not going to be searching for the rest of the night. It doesn't really make much sense to me. I don't know why they wouldn't set up spotlights and continue searching in the rubble to try to find 7 people are unaccounted for. I think their families are probably just a little bit worried, to say the very least. I don't know why authorities would call this off for the night. That doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, why on earth would they? Unless it was torrentially raining outside or something, which doesn't look like it was a rainy day today. So, yeah, I'm not sure what to make of that. Again, 6 minutes ago, they just released this. A law enforcement source familiar with the investigation told CNN the search inside the church is concluded for the night with as many as 7 people possibly still unaccounted for. Possibly. Here we go, CNN. The official cautioned the number could include survivors who have not yet been in touch with their families. That doesn't really make sense, man. They were in a congregation. If they haven't been in touch with their families, like if the incident happened in the church, I understand people trying to run away from the incident if they were able to escape. So yeah, of course, one could expect maybe a couple of people being unaccounted for in the immediate aftermath of this happening. However, we're getting into, it's been 12 hours at this point. So I find it hard to believe that 7 people would have escaped the church alive and they're still not accounted for. I mean, this is from what I understand, it's a small town. If there's 7 people that are unaccounted for, officially unaccounted for, it just, to me, it just seems that it would be very unlikely that they're going to be found. At least among the living, unfortunately. Searchers will resume in the morning when they are once again able to see through the rubble. Why not spotlights? I mean, for real. The federal government's on the scene. The FBI's there. They've got plenty of resources. I've seen those. I've seen those spotlights. They've got them on. They're diesel generated. You know the ones I'm talking about. That they've got 2 wheels, 2 rubber tires on the side, and it's like this big box. It's a diesel generator that's built inside, and it's got a big spotlight coming out of the top of it. I mean, they've got those. They do. They have them. I don't know why they just wouldn't use those. Especially when there's 7 people missing. I don't know. During a Sunday evening news conference, Grand Blanc Township Police Chief William Ryan told reporters, "We do know that there are some unaccounted for." I mean, that's just look, man. Look at this robot. They have this insanely sophisticated robot here. So they're bringing in like the latest and greatest robotic technology that mankind has to offer. Yet they can't set up some spotlights right here and start and keep searching. Why can't they search in the dark? I don't get that. And they've got police trucks. They could fix spotlights on top of that ladder. They could shine it like right over. I mean, as important as it would be to locate these 7 people, if they're still unaccounted for, like they could be missing, like hiding or something out in the woods. I don't know. I'm assuming that authorities are assuming that the 7 are probably, unfortunately, in this building. I mean, dude, put a helicopter up. You know how LA, they've got that night sun that they use during police chases. Put the helicopter up, shine the spotlight down, and do it that way if they have to. I mean, dude, you got to find these people as soon as humanly possible. That just tells me if what CNN is saying is true, then it sounds almost absolutely inevitable and very unfortunate that they're going to find 7 people in the building tomorrow that are deceased. And that's going to bring the number up to, what, 11? 11 people had passed away. That's what it sounds like to me. Now, according to the FBI, they had 100 FBI agents that were sent to this area. 100. And I'm going to check the director of the FBI's profile here in a minute to see if there's any updates, because I'm sure they're combing through his social media. They're combing through. They're trying to find out what the motive was, especially in the day and age we find ourselves in right now. Everybody's sitting there essentially biting their nails. Is he on our side or is he on their side? That's pretty much what our society has devolved into. And the left is assuming that he's a right-wing Trump supporter, and conservatives are assuming that it's also politically motivated. Since like 99% of the violence that happens in America today comes from the left, no matter what the dude looks like, it just seems common knowledge that one would assume he's probably in some way or another some radicalized leftist. Although we're not sure. We don't know. We don't know the motive. We have no clue. I mean, for all we know, maybe he recently got divorced. His ex-wife attends that church, and maybe it might have been that simple. He just wanted revenge in whatever way that he felt revenge was the way he should do it, which absolutely this would be the very dead last thing you should be doing, obviously. And that easily goes without saying. That's not a way to go about it in any way, shape, or form. It's fucking horrific. All right, so One American News, breaking update, Michigan church shooting. Authorities now confirm 4 victims are dead along with the shooter, bringing the total death toll to 5. You know what? I'm going to play some background music. I know it's not probably not the most appropriate tune to be playing, but you know what? That's all right. I lost my electricity, or not my electricity. I lost my air conditioning again today, so my room's hot. And I got my ceiling fan just whirling up there, so it's probably coming through the microphone. So I got to at least try to drown that out just in case. But anyway, here we go.
I have a couple updates for you. There is a couple additional bodies that we've discovered
Crank it up
in
a
the
little bit.
church. So that makes our total victim count up to 4 victims. As I said before, there has already been the suspect who is deceased as well. So we have 5 deceased persons from this tragic incident. Again, our thoughts
Detroit
and
Press was
prayers
framing it.
go out to the victims of this incident that could have been completely avoided. And it's very tragic.
Only 100%.
And that's not what our community is.
Absolutely not. Sounds like a very small, sleepy type of town. From my understanding, it's somewhat close to Flint, Michigan. Is that correct? I think it is. It's something like 50 miles north of Detroit. I don't know. I've never been to Michigan, so I'm just going off of what I heard. So from Fox News, breaking, the FBI is investigating the church attack in Grand Blanc Township, Michigan, as an act of targeted violence, an official confirms. I mean, of course. I mean, how else could it have gone down, you know?
I can confirm at this time that the FBI is now leading the investigation.
Oh, this is mono.
This
all right.
An act of targeted violence. FBI crisis
response
teams, such as our evidence response teams, SWAT, Special Agent bomb technicians, victim specialists were deployed to the scene.
All right. Yeah, that's kind of strange how it came through that way. All right. Libs of TikTok just in. President Trump responds to Michigan church shooting. And let's hear what the president has to say. I've been briefed on the horrendous shooting that took place at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Grand Blanc, Michigan. The FBI was immediately on scene and will be leading the federal investigation and providing full support to state and local officials. The suspect is dead, but there is still a lot to learn. This appears to be yet another targeted attack on Christians in the United States of America. The Trump administration will keep the public posted, as we always do. In the meantime, pray for the victims and their families. This epidemic of violence in our country must end immediately. Yes, it must. Absolutely must. I mean, hell, the president, he's fighting freaking battles on all kinds of fronts. Just sent in troops into Portland, Oregon, I believe today. And of course, you got the leftists out there who are saying, you know, oh, there's no violence happening. There's nothing happening here, because they're showing video of what it looks like during the daytime, knowing full damn well that Antifa doesn't go out there and riot during the day. They want to do it under the cover of darkness while they wear their fucking black outfits and shit. All right, anyway, so yeah, there's the image again. Here, we'll take a look at this. Libs of TikTok has a video here on the scene while it was still on fire.
Oh my God.
That's really bad.
All right. It's basically just showing the fire from a distance, or the smoke, rather. Okay. Let's see. From Jack, why churches? I don't get it. Well, because they're targeting Christianity. I honestly, we don't know. We don't know if he specifically is, but there's just been many attacks on churches recently. But on the other hand, there's always been attacks on churches, it seems, going back probably well over a century. So Milo Yiannopoulos, he says, because we're not fighting communism or feminism or black people or Antifa or trans pronouns or China or porn addiction or compound interest or Ilhan Omar, we're fighting the devil. Our enemy is Lucifer. He has merely exerted power in the world by means of those things. Ooh. Spicy. Hey, he said it, not me. Although most of that, yeah, I mean, look, I don't see... Okay, the whole black people thing, okay, Milo, I don't get all that. You know, black people are not evil, Milo. They're not. But he's a provocateur, by the way. If you don't know who Milo Yiannopoulos is, he threw that in just to fuck with people, because he likes to push buttons. Yeah, feminism has gotten quite evil. Communism, black people, definitely not evil. Are you kidding? Antifa, trans pronouns, China. Yeah. Elements of China as a whole, about evil. I mean, they want to become number one. You know, just like America. America's number one. We want to stay number one. China does too. But yeah, they've definitely got elements of evil, just like the United States does, in the form of leftist extremism in 2025. Compound interest, sure. Ilhan Omar, uh-huh. All right. Anyway, so Eric Daugherty, Christianity is under all-out assault in the United States. An evil person just shot up a church in Grand Blanc, Michigan, and proceeded to try and burn it to the ground. That's not only a violent action, but a symbolic one. They want to send a message. Yeah, they do. And the takeaway from this situation should be that anybody who wants to attend church today, you should exercise your Second Amendment rights, because it was given to you by God and by the founding fathers as they enshrined it into our Constitution. Just go to church armed. Why not? Conceal carry. I mean, you don't have to be strapped, putting like I don't know, like bullets across your chest like you're fucking Rambo. You don't have to do that. Just carry a concealed firearm. If all the people in the church had a concealed carry firearm, he might have inflicted some damage, but I think they would have taken care of business. Yeah, so this is only 3 seconds here.
They were already here surrounding the building with ARs. I think when I came back, they showed up with
Yeah, that's basically it. Just showing the fire in the background. Congressman Byron Donalds, he's running for the governor of Florida, actually. I just learned that yesterday. I don't know when he announced. I don't know if he did just announce yesterday. He probably didn't. I just kind of heard it in passing. Anyway, Erica and I stand with our LDS neighbors in the wake of this horrific attack. We pray for the victims, their families, and thank law enforcement for their continued response. All Americans must be able to worship freely, safely, and without fear. This epidemic of violence must end. And he's replying to Fox News. Developing Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Grand Blanc Township, Michigan, engulfed in flames after 40-year-old suspect drove his vehicle through the front doors of the church and shot multiple people. I'll see if I can find it. There's an image of a pickup truck that had crashed into a church, not into the entrance, but into the side of a church building. And that's circulating around, I'm assuming, by lefties and Democrats, suggesting that that's the truck that caused all this when it wasn't. It was a truck that just crashed into the side of a church. The reason why they're passing it around is because it's got 2 big American flags flying on the back of the truck, trying to make it appear as though it's something that it may not be. By that, I mean a conservative. All right, doesn't look like there's sound with this. Just aerial footage of the fire by helicopter, probably. Could be a drone, though, too. And probably a helicopter. I mean, it's just from Fox News. Leaves haven't even changed yet up there. I know that's off topic. I know. Let's see. I mean, I'm way down in St. Pete, so I don't even remember when the hell the leaves change anymore. I mean, it's almost October. Anyway, Laura Loomer, the shooter in Michigan, drove their car through the church and immediately started shooting churchgoers. Then the shooter set the church on fire. The shooter is down. There are 10 victims. Their conditions are unknown at this time. And then right before that, she says, breaking and active shooting just took place at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Grand Blanc, Michigan. Let's see if she's got anything else here. Shooter also set the church on fire. Church is currently burning, which we did see that video already. Let's see, and this is from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. A tragic act of violence occurred today at a chapel of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Grand Blanc, Michigan. During Sunday worship services, a gunman opened fire, and early reports indicate that multiple individuals were injured. We ask for cooperation with local authorities as details become available. The church is in communication with law enforcement as the investigation continues, and as we receive updates on the condition of those affected, we offer thanks to the emergency responders who are assisting victims and families. We are deeply grateful for the outpouring of prayers and concern from so many people around the world. In moments of sorrow and uncertainty, we find strength and comfort through our faith in Jesus Christ. Places of worship are meant to be sanctuaries of peacemaking, prayer, and connection. We pray for peace and healing for all involved. I'm not sure what this links to. Okay, newsroom on their website. I'll link it if you want to check it out. Okay, yeah, it basically looks like the same. Where did it go? Looks like the same thing. Yeah, it is. It's the same message that I just read. They just linked it to their website. Carrie Lake, it's been a tragic 24 hours for our beloved friends in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. First with the loss of their president, Russell Nelson, over the weekend, and with the heinous attack on the church in Michigan this morning. To attack people who have joined together in prayer is truly depraved. I send my condolences to everyone impacted.
Leftist violence that
Newsmax.
continues to plague our country. Let's discuss this and much more with the senior advisor for the U.S. Agency for Global Media and former U.S. Senate and gubernatorial candidate in Arizona, Carrie Lake. Carrie, thank you so much for joining us on this this tragic Sunday. As you're watching what's unfolding there in front of your screen, I mean, how many more times does this have to happen where we're seeing these episodes of domestic terrorism?
Yep, and you know what the left is saying right now? They're saying we need to ban assault rifles. Freaking, the hell, asshole fucking governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz, he posted a tweet the other day saying we must ban assault rifles immediately. I'm calling on our state to pass legislation to do just that. My dude, just because he used that doesn't make it an argument to get rid of it. Plus, of all the shootings, all the mass shootings that we've had over the last several weeks, the last month or so, in my memory, this is the first instance where they used an AR-15, not an assault rifle. So, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure, like the Minnesota shooter that shot up the Catholic school, I think he didn't have, I don't think he had an AR-15, right? I think he had a different type of weapon. I think it was a handgun, and maybe it was a rifle, but I don't think it was an AR-15. Same with the Dallas ICE shooting. That was a bolt-action rifle. The same with the Charlie Kirk shooter. I believe his was, I think it was bolt-action, wasn't it? Yeah, so it's just a ridiculous argument. That's what I think, in my opinion, over the next couple of days, the Democrats are just going to try to lean into that more so than anything. We must ban assault rifles immediately. Like that would have prevented this. No, it wouldn't have prevented it. It's a ridiculous statement. And plus, everybody knows that at this point. And it's to be expected. It's to be expected. That's exactly what they're going to start saying. Immediately. I'm sure they're already talking about that right now. Ban assault rifles. We got to ban them. Anyway, all right.
I'm just heartbroken about this. I know that the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is in mourning right now. They lost their president, Russell Nelson, who passed away over the weekend. And so I can only imagine, as many of the LDS churches are always full, but it was extra full today when this madman descended upon the church. And I'm just heartbroken for all of the victims and the families. The violence in this country has gotten really out of control. And while we don't know a whole lot about who this person is, what his motives were, to go after faith...
Look, man, in times like this, I can't say it enough. This is when anybody who is a law-abiding citizen, anyone who doesn't have a felony, if you weren't dishonorably discharged from the military, if you don't have a documented mental illness or a documented drug addiction, what's the other one? Domestic violence on your record. If you don't have any of those things, you really should just be carrying arms. Just carry. Conceal carry. And the majority of the country, you don't even have to have the government's permission to conceal carry a handgun. It's like, what, 26, maybe 27 states? If not more than that. It might even be more than that by now. Because more states keep getting added to the list. So if you live in any of those states, you really don't have an excuse not to. And besides, like the worst thing, on a day-to-day basis, 99.9999% of the time, you're not going to encounter anything at all. The most inconvenient thing would just be carrying around an extra pound or two on your waist, or under your arm, or wherever it is that you want to conceal carry it. It's just a bit of extra weight, really. But man, oh man, if something like that were to happen and you were in that situation, wouldn't you be glad to have taken my advice? Just to conceal carry. All right, let me finish this up.
A place of faith where people are joining together and praying is just a new level of depraved. And I can't even, I don't even have the words to describe how upset I am about what happened this morning in Michigan.
And look, it is a very violent time in our history currently. There is a lot of violence happening, a lot of targeted shootings, a lot of targeted killings happening right now. And the thing with terrorism is they want you to be afraid that this level of violence could be around any corner, that they want you always looking over your shoulder. They want you to be afraid. And look, I'm not suggesting that everybody should be concealed carrying till the end of time. However, it would probably be a good idea, at least until this level of violence starts to subside in our society. What if it takes a year, if it takes 5 years, 10 years? Once things cool down, then, maybe you don't have to carry a gun everywhere anymore. It's kind of like the Old West. Everybody was carrying guns because you just never knew. Just better be safe than sorry. And then eventually we reached a point in our American history, in our society, where not everybody really felt that it was necessary to have to carry a gun anywhere. Or everywhere, I mean. And it just looks like that just might be that time that we find ourselves in. We might be heading into, Wild West kind of times. Not Wild West in the way that there's lawlessness. I'm not talking about that Wild West. I'm just saying that, danger could be around any corner. You might as well just arm yourself and be prepared. Just because you never know. In today's world, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I think if somebody suggested to you that everybody should concealed carry everywhere, almost everybody would just roll their eyes at you. Like, oh, come on, dude. Like, yeah, every once in a while, crazy things happen. But I mean, come on, man. Like our country's not that dangerous. But today very much seems to be the case. So that would be my one suggestion. And for the love of God, don't let them try to take away our Second Amendment rights. For freaking crying out loud, man. You think shit's bad now. Oh my God. Anyway, from Nick Sorter, breaking 9 injured, 1 dead in shooting at Michigan church 9 hours ago. The suspect is deceased, having been shot by responding officers. After ramming the church, the gunman 40 fired several rounds at churchgoers. Heroic officers saved countless lives. Yeah, apparently they showed up real quick, like within a couple of minutes.
During this incident, what we know right now is that a 40-year-old suspect from Burton, he's a male, he drove his vehicle through the front doors of the church. He then exited his vehicle, firing several rounds at individuals within the church. 10 gunshot victims have been transported to local hospitals at this time, including one who has been deceased. Officers who were trained immediately responded to the area. One was a DNR officer, and then one was a Grand Blanc Township officer, where they met the suspect and they engaged in gunfire with that particular individual, neutralizing that suspect, and that suspect is no longer with us. As I said, it is a 40-year-old male from Burton.
All right, well, thank God the officers were a crack shot. Thank God. Thank God he didn't take any officers out. Very, very fortunately. Anna Matson at the scene in Grand Blanc, Michigan. A man ran his car into a church and started shooting. Family members are waiting to be reunited with their loved ones. A little girl has been shot in the back, and many people have blood on their clothes. Please pray for the victims and for our first responders. Not sure. Doesn't look like they're going to show anything too crazy for YouTube, so I'll play it.
I'm at the scene of a giant fire happening at a church in Grand Blanc, Michigan. I talked to someone who just got here from South America. It's his first week in the U.S. Went to church with his mom. His mom is still in the building, and he got out. From what I'm hearing on the ground, a man drove his vehicle into the church and then started shooting and even shot a little girl in the back, and she is at the hospital right now. The shooter has been neutralized, but that's all I know at the moment. Everyone within a 30-minute radius has responded to the scene. I'm at the scene.
All right. Plus, again, like 100 FBI agents. Oh, wait, hold on. Was that this one? Nurses at the nearby hospital are on strike right now. What? And before anyone says that Michigan already has red flag laws in place. Okay. Federal, state, and local authorities are here. They're blocking off more area now. Okay, yeah, so that was earlier today. All right, I already saw that video. All right. Attorney General Pamela Bondi, 10 hours ago. I'm receiving briefings about what appears to be a horrific shooting and fire at an LDS church in Grand Blanc, Michigan. FBI and ATF agents are en route to the scene now. Such violence at a place of worship is heartbreaking and chilling. Please join me in praying for the victims of this terrible tragedy. And DC Drano, I can't help but notice exactly 1 week after 100 million people tuned in to the Charlie Kirk Memorial that reinvigorated a Christian revival in America, the forces of evil have attacked a church the very next Sunday. They don't want people returning to God. Do it anyway. Yep. As I've said before, man, a lot of people, they quit going to church. They quit praying because our society's too comfortable. It's real comfortable. A lot of people don't really have a need for God right now. Everything's just a little too peaceful, a little too easy. Now, I'm talking about relatively speaking. I'm not saying right now. Of course, things have gotten a lot crazier over the last couple of months. And that's going to lead to a large surge in church attendance, I would think. New aerial footage shows the church. Okay, I think I already got that. Pretty sure. Definitely already watched that footage. 4 confirmed dead, multiple in serious condition. Entire church burned down during Sunday service. We don't have to live like this. That was from Jack Unheard. And we did get that video. This is from Benny Johnson. New aerial footage shows the Grand Blanc, Michigan church engulfed in flames after a gunman opened fire and it set it ablaze. Christianity is under attack. And once more, if a mosque was shot up every month, it would be a crisis for Muslims. If a synagogue was shot up every month, it would be a crisis for Jews. If a temple was shot up every month, it'd be a crisis for Hindus. Christians, this is happening to us. Christian churches are being violently targeted at an exponential rate. Christianity is the most persecuted religion on earth. Nothing else even comes close. Christianity is under attack. Time to get serious about it. Absolutely, absolutely. All right, so before I end it, let me check the FBI and see if they've got anything. I'll start with the director, see if he's got anything that he said. Let's see. No. FBI personnel are responding to Grand Blanc, Michigan to provide any requested support necessary from Dan Bongino. And we are tracking reports of the horrific shooting and fire at LDS Church in Grand Blanc, Michigan. FBI agents are on the scene to assist local authorities. Let's see. Our prayers are with the victims and their families. Violence in a place of worship is a cowardly and criminal act, as it is. Okay. So that appears to be his only response to it. All right, one last thing. All right. Okay, here we go. 2 hours ago, this is an update. Regarding the critical incident in Grand Blanc, Michigan, the FBI is asking that members of the public share any information that would assist in this investigation. We encourage them to please report that to 1-800-CALL-FBI or tips.fbi.gov. Suppose I'll link that. Let's see. So, yeah, the same message. Okay. Looks like that is it. FBI Detroit. Do they have an article? No, doesn't look like it. Just an image. Okay. Well, yeah, that looks like that's basically it as far as right now. It's still ongoing in the news, obviously. 40-year-old U.S. Marine veteran from Burton, Michigan, rammed his pickup truck into the entrance of Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Grand Blanc Township during his Sunday service on September 28, 2025, and fired an AR-15 style rifle at approximately 200 worshipers before setting the building ablaze. 4 civilians died and 8 others were injured, with Sanford killed in a shootout with responding officers. The FBI has classified the attack as targeted violence and is leading the investigation alongside the ATF as church leaders express devastation over the loss of life in what should have been a sanctuary of peace. Absolutely. So, I'm just going to see if I can try to find where that... There. Yeah, this is it. This is what they're talking about. They're saying, oh, okay, maybe this was the truck. All right, hold on. Let me just take a look here. Okay, so nobody had commented on it. This was what I didn't see this angle. I saw a truck that looked like this with 2 flags on it, as shown. However, the angle that I saw was not that angle. Not saying that wasn't the truck. I'm not saying that at all. I mean, it looks like it very well could have been. But you see how that dude worded that? Now, why would he say that it was a MAGA supporter? Another MAGA white male shooter. Another? Well, what? Name another one, dude. How many are there? I mean, look, I'm not too familiar with the oh, who was it? The politicians who were shot up in Michigan or in Minnesota. Apparently, that was some like right winger who did that, and I mean, I'll concede that to be true because that's what I heard, and that would be an extreme right winger who did that if that's actually the case. So. Yeah, but, I mean, dude's got camo. He's out in the country. He's got a child. I'm assuming this person is suggesting that leftists just don't have children, which most of them don't, of course. And they burn the American flag. So maybe there's an argument to be made there. The guy's got American flags on his truck. So, you know, that just goes to show everybody on the left, according to this person, everybody on the left, they view the American flag as a symbol of MAGA right now. That's the country we're living in right now. If you fly the American flag, you are a MAGA evil scumbag, and you deserve to be exterminated. The American flag. That's the country we're living in right now. Better protect yourself. All I'm saying, you better protect yourself out there. A lot of crazy ass people, man. Especially if you got an American flag. Okay, I think this might have been... Well, they didn't have the firefighter there, but I basically saw this. Which the original image I saw was not... It definitely did not look anything like an entrance. See, like this doesn't look like an entrance either. It just looks like the side of the building, doesn't it? That's what it looks like to me. It looks like the side of the building. But yeah, I mean, like, just like looking at the smoke, the fire, the firefighter definitely looks like the shooter's vehicle. Certainly does. All right, I'm assuming that's him. That's his body. It says veteran. I still have yet to see anything about Trump or MAGA or Republicans, conservatives. I don't really see anything. I mean, stereotypically, he might be dressed up as he could be one. But does that mean that like nobody on the left goes duck hunting? Like not a single leftist goes duck hunting? Not a single leftist wears camo? I kind of find that hard to believe. I mean, I know most leftists they're not flying the American flag. This MAGA violence has got to stop. 40 years old, armed with an AR-15, had 2 American flags in the bed of his truck. See what I mean? If it's an American flag, you're MAGA. That's what they're saying. All right. Yeah. Okay. Well, I found what I was looking for. That's what I was looking for. I was trying to see what they were saying about that truck. Definitely looks like his truck. Probably going to be a day or so before we really learn anything as far as what his motivations could have been. Yeah, I saw this one circulating around. Walter Kurt, I leave mass hearing about the shooting and arson attack of the church in Michigan. To all Christians everywhere, if 95% of the men in your church are not carrying, you must fix that. Christianity is being attacked. Be prepared to defend yourself, family, and community. Concealed. That's the way to do it. You get to keep that tactical advantage. You got to keep that advantage, man. You conceal carry. Look, you can open carry too. It's not really the best advantage to put yourself in. You know, you're better off appearing as though you don't have one. That way, you're not going to be the first person they look to. Because if you're open carrying, and if somebody wants to pull some shit like this, guess who they're going to be pointing their gun at first? That's why it's probably better to conceal carry. But hey, man, to each his own. You know, there would be another argument that, well, if you open carry, that could also be seen as a deterrent. That somebody's not going to want to shoot up a place when you've got, 2, 3, 4 guys that are standing there open carry. Yeah, I totally get that too. Absolutely. So I would say probably you're if you want to open carry, you're probably better off doing so in numbers. Because, if there's 3 or 4 of you, then yeah, that I don't think nobody in their right mind would still try to carry out something like that. If there's 3 or 4 openly carried guys that are standing there. Because you might be able to try to get one, but you ain't getting all 4 of them. Not when they're already strapped. Already got it ready. All right. Yeah, see? There you go. That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Conceal carry zone, man. That is what I'm talking about. All right. Protect your churches. Yep. Amen. Look, man, Second Amendment. The Second Amendment given by God. There's absolutely nothing wrong with going to a church armed. I think everybody should be going to church armed. Just because you're carrying a gun doesn't make you a bad person. Doesn't make you evil. Doesn't make your trigger finger itchy. No, you're carrying a paperweight. unless you need to defend your life, God forbid. Oh, wow. This Christian extremism has gone far enough. No, the Christian extremism is just getting started. Well, that's one sleeping giant they don't want to awaken. They would probably be quite surprised to find out how many people who attend church regularly are truly armed. Oh, it's a lot. Oh, it's a lot. It is a lot. It's a lot. But they keep this shit up, man. It's probably going to be hard to find a gun. People are going to be buying up so many of them. I need to go get a new one, too. I meant to get one. I've been meaning to go out and get one for a couple of months. I want to get a Glock. I want to get a Glock 43. Or no, 43X. I want to get the X. I want the 10 rounds, not the 7. Six round mag with one in the chamber. I don't know. It'd be better. It'd be better for concealment. Be a little less weight, but I think I'm going to go with the 43X. Just to have those extra 3 rounds. I think that's probably a good idea. I don't know, man. I don't wear blue jeans. You know, I live in St. Pete, man. I wear freaking gym shorts. I wear board shorts and like sweat shorts. You know, I dress way down, dude. I dress casual. I dress for comfortability. So it's not really the best attire to conceal carry in, but that's why they make shoulder holsters. That's why they make other different styles of holsters. Yeah, I should have done that yesterday. Fucking forgot. I got no excuse now. Now that this has happened, now I'm definitely going to go out and buy one. Probably tomorrow, if I have time. Get some 9mm rounds. I don't have a 9mm. I needed to get one. I'm going to get one. I'm going to get one this week. But I got a 45. I just don't want to carry around a 45. It weighs like 2.5 pounds. It's too much weight for me. All right. What time is it? All right. I got to wrap this up. So, hopefully they'll get to the bottom of what happened, or his motive. I mean, by that, hopefully those 7 people. Hopefully it's just like just a number thrown around in the chaos, and hopefully they won't find anybody else. Of course, that should go without saying. Hopefully the number of deceased remains at what it is right now, that there's 4. Hopefully everybody who's in the hospital pulls through okay, especially that little girl who was shot in the back. It's absolutely horrible. And yeah, I just hope everybody makes it through okay. And yeah, I just hope that they search that church all day tomorrow and they come up completely empty-handed. And there are no 7 unaccounted for. That hopefully it was just some mistake or something. Look, that was the image I saw. That was the image I saw. I saw that image. So he didn't drive into the entrance, according to this. Gunman crashed truck into Morman Church in Michigan before opening fire and setting it ablaze. So, yeah. Not saying that wasn't the truck. Actually, with the other images up there, it absolutely looks like it was the truck. Just, I guess, misinformation. Maybe he didn't crash into the front entrance. Looks like he probably crashed into the side of the building and then he barged into the front entrance. That might be maybe what ended up happening. I don't know. We'll probably learn more tomorrow, which I'll definitely bring this up tomorrow because I'm sure there's going to be more information. I'm going to be hosting The Swamp tomorrow, Monday. I usually get started around 8 p.m. As soon as I get all my information together, I have to compile all of the content to go over for the day. And yeah, either 7 or 8 p.m. And usually I'm posting it between 9:30 and 10. So yeah, I'll definitely be talking about this tomorrow. And hopefully we'll have some more information and we're not just left in limbo. I'm sure that the FBI, especially with as transparent as Kash Patel has been, if they come up with anything on social media, I believe he'll share it with everybody. Not only social media, but just what was his motive? Why did he do this? I just don't get it. Especially when he's got small kids. I mean, like, what the fuck, man? Absolutely doesn't make any sense at all. So, all right. Well, I'll just cut it there. I hope you had a great weekend. I hope you have a great rest of your night. Or if you're listening to this in the morning, hope you're having a great morning. Hope you have a great day at work. If you're going to work today, I'll be working all day tomorrow too. So, try to have the best day we can. Make it productive. Make it as exciting as you can. I know work's not exciting for most of us. But all right, anyway, have a great night. See you later.